Hello, beautiful hearts. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about my channel name, Inner Dragon Wisdom. But before I do that, I wanted to share with you my journal Instagram channel. If you've watched a few of my videos, you've probably known that I'm a huge advocate of journaling. And I created this channel a few months ago after going through a heartbreak and a spiritual epiphany. This is basically my open journal in which I share daily sound bites of my own healing journey. And I hope that it can give you some support and comfort. Because if you are on the healing journey, I wanted you to know that you're not alone. I love for you to check it out and follow so we can support one another. The channel is called at Soul Whispers Journal. And I'll also put the link down below in the description box. And of course, I'd always love to see you in my main Instagram account at Inner Dragon Wisdom as well. And that is a good segue into what I wanted to talk about in today's video. Why Inner Dragon Wisdom? There's something powerful about the image of a dragon, isn't there? We think of fire, of power, of something that destroys everything in its path. We picture the claws, the teeth, the roar that makes the world tremble. But what if I told you that real strength, the kind that transforms you, the kind that frees you, doesn't come from fighting harder? It comes from knowing what to burn away. I want you to imagine this for a moment. A dragon sitting at the top of a mountain, not roaring, not raging, just watching the world below. Around it, old skins that it has shed over the years, scales that no longer fit, ashes of what once was, not because it was cruel, but because it was wise enough to know that some things cannot come with you when you rise. This isn't about fighting, it's about releasing. So often, we spend our lives thinking strength means holding on to the people who no longer see us, holding on to jobs that suffocate us, holding on to the versions of ourselves that we've outgrown because it's familiar, because we're scared, because somewhere deep down we think that letting go is the same as failure and that surrendering means giving up. But dragons know something we often forget. Sometimes you have to burn the old, not because it was bad, but because it has completed its purpose. I remember a time in my life when I kept fighting battles that weren't mine to fight. I stayed in situations because I thought endurance was a badge of honor. I thought, if I just try harder, if I just give more, maybe I'll be loved. Maybe I'll be seen. Maybe I'll finally feel enough. And I fought with silence. I fought with overgiving. I fought with shrinking myself. And you know what my fights actually were? They were my resistance to reality. And then one day, I realized I was exhausted, but not evolving. I was busy fighting to keep what was already decaying. That's when the dragon within me stirred, not to rage, not to conquer, but to burn away what no longer aligned with who I was becoming. This is what channeling your inner dragon truly means. It's not about destruction for the sake of it. It's about shedding illusions, releasing false obligations, and letting go of the heavy layers you've been carrying so that what is real, what is authentic, what is alive within you can finally emerge. Think of nature. Forests renew, seasons change, and life finds its way back to balance. The old makes space for the new, not by force, but through a natural process of transformation. The dragon within you holds this ancient knowing. It awakens the moment you cease saying, I'll wait a little longer, and instead whisper, this chapter has served its purpose, and I release it with reverence. Here's the truth: the hardest thing to burn is not the toxic relationship or the unfulfilling job. It's the identity you've built around them. It's the story you've told yourself over and over again. Well, I'm the one who always gives, or I'm the one who always stays, or I'm the one who keeps everyone happy. Your inner dragon asks you, who are you without the story? And that is where transformation begins. Let me ask you, what are you still fighting to keep that has already served its time? What old habits, old wounds, old roles are you still wearing like armor, even though they are rusted through? Do you still tell yourself, no one loves me, or I'm a people pleaser, or even, I don't have what it takes? Because here's what happens when you start burning the old. Yes, some people will leave. And yes, some things will end. And yes, there will be a moment where you feel the emptiness, the space that used to be filled with the noise of the old world. But in that space, something ancient wakes up. A part of you that has been buried under shoulds and musts and I have tos, that is the part that leads you. That is the part that doesn't fight for crumbs anymore because it has remembered its own fire. When I talk about channeling your inner dragon, I'm not asking you to become fierce for the sake of it. I'm asking you to become true, to stop bargaining your peace for the comfort of others, to stop watering down your own desires so you don't scare anyone away, to stop calling it loyalty when it's really self abandonment. Your fire is not to hurt, it's to clear. You see, the dragon doesn't roar because it's angry, it roars because it's claiming its space. It burns not because it hates the world, but because it refuses to live in a cage built from old stories. And this is your invitation today. What would you burn if you knew your life depended on it? Would you burn the belief that you're only lovable when you're useful? Would you burn the fear that if you stop giving, you stop being chosen? Or would you burn the habit of dimming your own dreams because they feel too much? Here's what I learned. Every time I burned a layer that wasn't me, I didn't lose anything real. I only lost what was never mine to carry. And in that clearing, I started to meet myself, not the version shaped by expectations, but the one that had been waiting all along. That's the paradox. The dragon is not outside of you, it's the truest, most sovereign part of you. It doesn't fight to destroy, it fights to liberate. So if you're standing at the threshold in your life right now, where something feels too heavy, too forced, too false, Maybe this is not a season to fight harder. Maybe it's a season to set it down, to honor it, and to burn it away. Not in anger, in reverence. Because when you do, you make room for the real connections, the real purpose, the real path that has been waiting for you. Your strength isn't in how tightly you hold on. It's in your willingness to let go, to trust that what remains after the fire is what was always meant to stay. So today, I invite you to whisper this to yourself. I release what is not mine to carry. I honor what has ended. I call back my fire, not to destroy, but to create. That is your dragon speaking. And when you live from that space, you don't just survive your past, you alchemize it. You become someone who doesn't fear endings anymore because you know they're only the clearing before the flight. Your wings are waiting. Your mountain is ready. And your fire, it's been in you all along. I'll see you in the next video, dragons. Bye.